I need to feel your energy today from start to finish.
Come on, let's go.
Let's crank this thing up. It get real ferocious, I'm trying to tell you.
Turn me up all day.
From the locker room to the broadcast booth, breaking news and the truth behind every take from a real NFL insider and television analyst.
Now get ready for the NFL show where the conversation gets real and the fans get a voice. It's time for the Lake Lewis Jr. Show here on ESPN Radio.
And that's football.
Welcome, everyone, to the Lake Lewis Jr. Show. Appreciate you joining us as always. It's Tuesday, and you know what that is? It means it's Takeover Tuesday. We've got a busy show coming up for you today, my friends, because we have the big man from the Washington Commanders, offensive lineman Trent Scott, joins me every Tuesday. And remember, we're going to keep doing this up until training camp. And then when training camp starts, we are going to have a little bit of a break for training camp because the players obviously have to, that's their job. That's the full time. So they've got to take care of home, and that's more like a boot camp for them. So Trent will not be on for those 3 weeks of training camp. But then once training camp is over, he'll be back on with us. So we're going to break down today's show. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to take a quick break after I break down today's show, and we're going to get Trent on with us. I know he's with us now, but we got some video stuff we're working on too. So with that said, what we're going to talk about today, obviously, when we have Trent, we're going to talk about, life as an NFL player, leading up to training camp. Like, what do? You working out? Are you chilling at home with the family? Is it all of the above? We'll talk about all those things. And then we're going to talk about, some NFL stuff. We'll talk about, some happenings going on around the league right there. And, as we always do, let's bring on Alan real quick. Let's bring on Mr. Super Producer in video, in camera. What's going on, my friend?
Nothing much, man. How you doing?
I'm good. So, we got this modern technology going on right now. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to have the big man on with us right here on the Lake Lewis Jr. Show. As always. And now I've got the big man from the Washington Commanders joining us right now, and that's Trent Scott. So I think Trent's probably getting some feedback right now, right? Okay, all right. So let's keep it going, and we won't confuse Trent at all. All right. So what's going on, man? You got a couple weeks of I guess you can say relaxation, but the other day we talked, you just finished a workout. So what's life right now for an NFL Washington Commander leading up to training camp?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's always a balance. It's off season. You can quote unquote say it's off season, but everything that we get out of Sundays is from what we put in right now. So it's just that balance, man, and enjoying some downtime with the fam, but also working out and taking care of your body, and taking those moments away from the game to just kind of have those breaths, man. Because once we get back to hitting it, you locked in for the season, and so that's pretty much what I've been up to, man. I actually just got back from Alabama doing my football camp scholarship weekend, and so that was good. Had a good showing out there, man, and got a chance to spend some time with some youth in the community. So that's always dope, man. It's always dope.
So, right now, everyone's excited. It's that time of year where all 32 teams in the NFL feel like they have a legitimate chance to get to the Super Bowl, and that's the goal. You never go into a season thinking anything less as a player, do you? Even if you've probably been on some teams where you may have not seen some talent, but that is the ultimate goal. So when you enter a season, are you thinking the best that this is where this team is going?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, and that's the ultimate kind of thing that you're putting in the work for. I mean, you have personal goals, you have team goals, but like when you're saying that's the beauty in what we do, you got a group of men that's all coming together for one goal, and that's what we putting the work in for. That's what we taking care of our body for. That's what we're gonna get back next month and hit it hard in training camp for. Everybody got that trophy, on their mind, and so absolutely, you always got that circled on the calendar, and that's it's hard to win those things, man. It's hard to come by. You got 32 teams that's all coming in April, having their first team meeting, circling that thing, saying that's what we're trying to do, and so. It's cool, and we off to a good start. We had a good OTAs, good mini camp, and I'm looking forward to getting back with the guys so we can get this thing rolling.
we obviously talked about that, what happened last year. And as Jaden said, we're not talking about last year. We don't really want to go back to that. But just from a sheer talent standpoint, can you look at this year's team, the group that you've seen so far, and feel like in your 3 years in Washington that this might be the most talented team from a collection of talent and skill on the field?
I believe so. So every year, you will hope to look at the roster and say, like, we got better in a lot of areas. But to me this year, like, the speed is glaring, you know what I mean, on defense, on offense. The guys coming off the edge, bringing in tough guys like Malik and, Amik, bringing in Amik and, just the guys with this dog mentality and super talented and ready to get to work. And then you get a guy in the first round that's just got all these intangibles and ready to lead the defense, at linebacker. And so it's just, I'm excited about what it's looking like so far, man. I saw a lot of speed in OTAs. I saw a lot of guys getting after it on both sides of the ball. And so it's going to be cool to see that iron sharpening iron, going down in camp.
Now, I know you as this nice dude, a gentleman, a scholar, I know you as that. But I think a lot of fans need to understand that you also are an enforcer in a lot of ways. As far as your offensive line, you don't back down. Is that a role that you have embraced, as a guy that people know if it needs to get there, that Trent can go there if it needs to go there?
Man, that's really a mentality, man, that I've embraced my entire career, playing ball. And I think that's a trait that has helped me to, be in locker rooms and be a leader in locker rooms. It's just, because that's just how I approach the game. That's how I approach life, honestly. And so my teammates know that they can count on me in any situation, and I'm down for that. That's just the attitude that I bring to the game. I hope it's contagious, and I hope it spreads throughout our room, man, because that's what it takes for an offensive line to be successful.
Well, it seems like, Trent, honestly, like, from what I've seen so far, there's some chippy guys on the defensive line. So I'm looking forward to some spirited training camp practices. Are those the type of things that you're ready to go now, ready to put the pads on?
Man, it's like, I tell people all the time now, it's like training camp, people, ask about, like, how different is training camp from college. And it's like, man, you got to take my situation. I'm coming into training camp, man. I got 2 kids. I'm paying 2 mortgages. Coach Tomlin used to always joke like that. And it's like, it means something different for me, man. This thing is like, I'm passionate. I love the game. I'm a competitor. And you throw a bunch of dudes on the field that's like that, not even counting the personal goals and, trying to get new contracts and wanting to win and stuff. And so everybody's just competing at all these levels. And so every rep means something. It's just, every rep, I'm gonna be better than you. And if we got a bunch of guys that's thinking like that, we're getting better every day.
It's funny you say that, because I was literally just talking to one of the other hosts there at ESPN, before we started, and I was telling them, and I could be wrong, but it seems like there's a good portion of the roster of married men like yourself. Is that? Am I off by saying that? It seems like it's like 65, 70% of the roster seems to be married, or they're on their way to getting married.
100%. I definitely agree with that. I mean, that, and we got a bunch of fathers, and like the percent of husbands and fathers, man. And it's cool. It's cool because you come into the locker room and, man, you can have those talks and, with relatable men going through and living the same life that you're living outside the field. So that's those things, them intangibles, man, that you just, that you don't get, outside of that game, man. Those are the things that players miss. The game is one thing, man, but you having that locker room and that collective of guys and men that you can come talk to that can relate to what you got going on in your life, man. That's the cool thing about it.
I think that you hit that right on the head, because, we've had the conversations about how it was before the new ownership group and Adam and Dan and guys like yourself came aboard. And it was nothing like that. It was after 25-point defeats. I heard guys in the locker room talking about what club they were going to. So totally different mentality.
Yeah.
And like you said, when you got mouths to feed and mortgages to pay, you approach that craft a little differently, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, look, so Alan, our producer, super producer Alan is here, and You understand this conversation right now quite well, I'm sure, as far as you having the family and the mortgage and all that stuff to take care of. When you see guys like Trent, and they outwardly talk about this, and it's a thing. Like I remember talking to Lance Newmark, and I said to him, is it a thing for guys to have faith on this roster? And I he couldn't answer that. Obviously, I understood afterwards why. But it is a thing, and I think it's obvious. So Alan, I was going to ask you real quick, when you talk to guys like Trent, another offensive lineman, by the way, because Alan is pro offensive lineman, Trent, just so you know, that's got to make you feel good to hear that he can get dirty, but he's also a family man at the same time.
Yeah, you gotta have a switch. I don't think a lot of people understand that. I'm glad Trent talked about it. Like, you're not a mean person, but you got to be mean, because it's like boxing, right? They tell you before the fight, protect yourself at all times. Like, that's essentially what you got to be in the trenches, because like a lot of times you're not going to get bailed out by the ref, and the guy across from you generally is not going to give you a day off or a break or anything like that, or feel bad for you because he hit you in the throat or hit you upside the head or something like that. So you too have to match that intensity. And it's funny because the biggest, meanest guys on the line typically don't get talked about enough. And then you see those NFL, but now look, you see the NFL films. They'll have like Trent mic'd up, and he's across from like an Aaron Donald. And Aaron Donald's like foaming at the mouth and being all kind of crazy. And then after they do their rep, generally speaking, what do? They good rep, big man. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I like that. Like, it's not personal. It's just business. And that's why I like the offensive linemen. They don't do all that yapping and stuff. They just here to play ball, man.
Well, that's the thing. I did want to ask you this, Trent. And folks, if you don't know, it's Takeover Tuesday. Myself, Lake Lewis, here on the Lake Lewis Jr. Show, ESPN Radio, joined by Washington Commander Trent Scott. And remember, this will be every Tuesday, especially when the season gets here. We're going to be having a lot of fun with this up from the facility. I did want to ask you this, and it wasn't to get anybody in trouble or anything, but were you the one that had a skirmish back in OTAs? Was it you? Because I felt like there was a skirmish, and I felt like Coach brought everybody to let everybody know, hey, look, we don't need to get each other like that. Not at least not yet. I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
No, we didn't have anything too crazy happen in OTAs, man. It just, I think we talked about it a little bit. OTAs is that weird time of year where the tempos are always, because it's like we said, we got dudes that's out here, dog competitors that's ready to get to it. And so it's like when you try to tell guys okay, I don't want y'all going that hard. Well, all it takes is one D lineman going fast and the O lineman going fast, and now we at 100%. And so it was just one of those things where we were just, it can always get a little chippy. And I love that environment. I look forward into it. I embrace it, and when we get to training camp, we'll get to activate that a little bit more. So,
So you had to kind of remind somebody where they were. And so in retrospect.
Sometimes it's an old lineman job to do that. Sometimes we got to, I quote Coach Tomlin a lot, man. It's weird because I was only there with him for a year, but he used to say so many things that just like stuck with me. He used to always say, "I'd rather say whoa than sick 'em." You know what I mean? And that just
I like that.
757,
that just stand out to
man.
me. Is like I'd much rather be in the team meeting than hearing the coach saying like, "Hey, Trent, I need you to calm down a little bit right here." You know what I mean? I'd take that over like, "Hey, man, I need you to get going."
Hey,
so
Trent, I got a question.
One of them things, man.
I got a question. When you're around Coach Tomlin, did you ever wonder how he got that intensity and he never played like O-line and stuff? You ever wonder what his background was? You ever talk to him about that?
Why you got to play O-line to get intensity?
No, man, because he's hyper aggressive, man. He is hyper aggressive, but he's cool about it.
He really is, man. He loves O-line, D-line play, man. I mean, like, during the one-on-one period at practice and training camp, I think that was his favorite period. Like, he always left whatever he was doing, and he was always right in the mix. You know what I mean? If he saw a matchup that he liked, he would always say, "Nah, we got to bet 2 out of 3 that one." You know what I mean? Like, and that was just, he was super intense about O-line, D-line play. He played, he's coached some good ones, great ones over the years, and so it's understandable. But I don't know where he got it from, man. But I tell you what, it was consistent. You know what I mean? And it created a good environment. And so, I think we got a lot of that going right now. Like the competitive environment that we've created, over the years, but this year in particular is just, from the time we get there in the team meeting, we compete. We got stuff going on. We compete in offense, defense, the players against coaches. It's all around the building. And so, like, that competitive environment, man, it breeds greatness.
Folks, right now, Trent Scott joins us on Takeover Tuesday here on ESPN Radio. And like I said, we're going to be doing this all throughout the season, and hopefully it's going to be a good season. I think it will be a good season. I know Trent knows it's going to be a good season. Trent, I will say this, since Alan is sitting up here showing you all this love, you do know he's a 49ers fan. So I'm just going to put that out there.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
He got quiet in the booth over there.
I respect offensive line play because of that.
Okay. You from the Bay, or you just?
No. I'm from Virginia, and Mike Tomlin is from Hampton, which is essentially 40 minutes or so. Down the street.
Yeah. So they
Okay.
I've learned being down here, Trent, being in the Richmond area. It's a very powerful area. So, and they've got a lot of great athletes that have come out of Virginia. 757 and here at 804. So they've got some guys that have come through, and you had a teammate. What was it, 2 years ago? Cleveland Farrell. Cleveland Farrell's from here as well. So
yeah.
Yep. So it's some guys here, and this is a huge Commanders, location as well. So a lot of people are like, is Trent in studio? And I'm like, no, I don't know if Trent's ever going to be here in Richmond. The chances of that is slim. I'll be more up there than down here. So listen, one of the things that I do want to do.
Hey, you never know, man. I might have to make a trip.
Oh, hey, listen, by all means, please do. Please do. I'm sure everybody will appreciate that. I'm sure Alan will be the first one to let you in the building. I'm telling you, he is like pro offensive lineman. Even when I was at the combine, in Indianapolis, he just kept saying, like, can you get some stuff on this guy and this guy and this guy? And I'm like, man, this is an offensive lineman no one's even heard of.
The Senior Bowl, Coach Tomlin is the same way, like he described. That's why I asked about him, because he has the same energy I have, man. I want to be up close and personal. I bet you Connerly remembers his reps. Tomlin was right next to him every time.
Man,
so, yeah.
Yeah, so
wasn't too long ago.
There's no secret. It's no secret, man, that the O-line is the engine that this thing run through. And, and it's, for years, big man talk about, we don't get another level. We know it, though. We know it. That's why we put so much into it. And if you look at any successful team, any Super Bowl winner, at the end of the day, you could almost say, man, did the O-line get it done or did they not? You know what I mean? And, of course, you got good quarterbacks and, things like that to help the thing go. But at the end of the day, man, the big guys, we really make this thing go. We take pride in that.
And you also are playing for a franchise that is synonymous with an offensive line, obviously the Hogs, so for you to say that, no one's looking at that like, I don't know about that. They feel that, they breathe that. Before we go to break real quick, do you have you talked to a lot of those guys, those former Hogs? Have you had a chance to talk to any of them?
I haven't had a chance personally, but it's funny, they got them, they changed our our team meeting room, the offensive line meeting room a couple of years ago, and they got them all painted back there on the wall, man. It looks really cool back there, and it's like, our O-line coach was telling us that, like, of course we can't be those guys, but like we need to bring some of that mentality back around here, that identity, the identity back around here. It's cool. Like those guys, legendary in their own right, just like you talking about, just a group of bad dudes, man. And so I'd love to sit down and chat with some of those guys, man. Just talk about that mentality and that grit, that brotherhood that they had, man. It was cool to see.
All right, we're gonna have to make that happen for sure, folks. Trent Scott joins us today here on the Lake Lewis Jr. Show. We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we'll have more with Trent. We're going to change gears. I kind of want to bring up something where I saw Trent swinging a golf club. He plays golf a lot, Alan, and I saw him hit one. It looked like it was almost 400 yards. I mean, I could be wrong, and you even had it mapped, had the ball mapped. So we're going to talk about that when we come back, because I want to know how real is this game. So hang tight, folks. You're listening to the Lake Lewis Jr. Show. Welcome back, everyone, to Lake Lewis Jr. Show, Takeover Tuesday, right here on ESPN Radio, joined by Washington Commander Trent Scott, as we will be doing every Tuesday. So just so you put that on your calendar, put that on your schedule. If you want to chime in with us today, all you have to do is call us at 804-327-0888. Once again, 804-327-0888. You can also text or email to that number as well. So, Trent, last week, we actually spoke over the weekend, but last week I saw you swinging the clubs out there, and yeah, man, the drive looked like it was almost 400 yards, and you just kind of like calmly walked away, like people were shocked, but you weren't. Is that a normal occurrence for you on the golf course?
Man, you know what? When it comes to golf, man, I'm hooked. I'm hooked, dog. I got that itch right now, and I honestly am. The game is in a good place, man. I'm at the place, but golf is a humbling game, and I'll hit a couple shots where I feel like I'm ready for tour. Then I walk up to the next tee box and get humbled and reminded I got a lot of work to do. So it's fun though, man. In that video, I got a chance to play with one of the Huntsville natives right now, the quarterback for Alabama A&M, Cornelius Brown, and it was cool, man. We got out there and played around and had a good time.
Is Cornelius any good?
Yeah, oh man, hey, listen, I think I posted another video right after that. We on a par five, and he holed out for eagle from like 60 yards out. I mean, he nice. He nice, man. He nice. He real nice.
Okay. Hey, Alan, can you play golf?
I
Okay, good.
cannot. Short game's not bad.
We're not
I think I
talking
might be
putt-putt.
the self-proclaimed. I think I might be the self-proclaimed, best big man in the league. We'll have to see if somebody can get me off that pedestal, but we'll have
Really?
to see. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, so when I lived in Florida many moons ago, I was on ESPN Radio in Florida. I had to go out with clients or potential clients, and this was almost a daily thing. That's what they did in Florida. So I used to play all the time,
Yeah.
like all the time. And I'm a lefty, so it was, I was hitting people who
Okay.
was unorthodox, so the way I was
Yeah.
coming at
Hey,
them. So
yeah, those lefty swings always sweet now. We're gonna have to check that one out. We gotta check that one out for sure.
yeah, I mean, lefties kind of run the world. You know what I mean?
Oh
Indirectly,
man.
we can shoot better, we can throw better, we do everything better. So, I just had to throw that out there. When we were talking about the best golfers on the team, and your boy Jeremy Reeves said that he was better, and I saw you sit there. You kind of was like he was a guest on the show, so you were being polite. Um, but is Jeremy's game really that good?
No,
Because
his
he
game.
was chirping a little bit.
Now his game's solid. His game's solid. But when we double back and have him back on the show, I'm not gonna ask him. You just ask him who won our last match before we left OTAs. That's all I want you to ask him. So
That's all I'm
his
gonna do.
game is place. But I
Uh,
got him. We go
but
back and forth though. We go back and forth.
so is anybody touching Tress at all?
Nah, I mean, let's see. He plays with Tyler Ott a lot, and I think Ott's probably like right there with him. But I mean,
Mhm.
Tress going out shooting 73, 74 on the regular. Like that's just, and I'm talking about this just silky smooth, just butter swing, man, boring golf. Just, I mean, cut and dry, rinse and repeat with Tress.
See, I already know where Allen's gonna go with that though, because Allen's gonna say he's a punter, and he probably, can perfect that. But that's not necessarily true though, is it, Allen?
No, there's a certain level of finesse and touch that it takes to do golf, obviously. So people who probably do things like dart, who do punting and things like that, to them, having to see the depth and put that like touch on like whether it's your swing or a shot, I think it probably does resonate a
Yeah,
little bit.
Tress is a jack of all trades, though, man. I mean, he's
Man,
like, I tell people Tress is the OG of the team. Like, really, he is.
yeah,
He gets
yeah,
that mantle. So, do you guys look at him like that as teammates?
yeah. I mean, Tress, best golfer on the team, best ping pong player on the team. Uh, and just like you said, he just the OG of the group, man. Like, all of those little golf outings that we have sometime, man. Trust the one that sets those up for the guys, man. Just good dude, man. Good people, great family, just great OG to have in there, man. Know a lot, seen a
And,
lot.
and that's what and that's what I was gonna say too. You know, more than anything else about Tressway, Washington's punter, Pro Bowl punter, he was a Pro Bowler last year, is that he continuously is getting better as he's getting older. So Father Time hasn't caught up yet. But more importantly, he is. He's one of the nicest people you will ever come across. And there's a reason why he's been around here through multiple changes and regimes. So he's seen it all. If you want to talk about somebody that's seen it all you got to do is ask him.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, it's that he brings, and then I mean, you talk about on the field. This dude is, like you said, just constantly getting better. It's like I said with his golf game. It's like when we go out there and it's fourth down and we go on the punt. That's not nothing we worried about. Tress gonna drop it down in there for us, and it's just something that we can count on, and that's just what it is. And so he embraces that role, man. He doesn't. There's no like you said, there's no decline. He an OG and he knows that, but man, he's steadily getting better over the years with time for sure.
So Tress should have gave you given you guys some money last year because he made the Pro Bowl, and I liken it to the fact that the year before he didn't have to punt. I think he punted like 6, 7 times on the season, so he had a fresh leg last year. So if you do the same thing this year, then more than likely he'll make another Pro Bowl. So you guys should get paid off that. Don't you feel like they should cut you something?
I absolutely think so, man. We had Tress chilling on the sideline over there. Probably was full of Gatorade, but hey, that right there, man. If we can be efficient out there as an offense and keep Tress off the field, hey, we'll take that. Tress, hey, go make you a Pro Bowl and hit you a few punts here and there, but hey, we'll take that.
That's what it's all about right there. So Trent, I wanted to ask you, like the NFL's doing their annual NFL 100, top 100. As a player, do you? Because from what I was told, these rankings or whatever these guys come in at, it's you guys who are voting on that. Is that have you voted on anything like that, or is that just not necessarily the truth there?
No, it is. They actually pass us out a card every year, and it has,
Okay.
you know, we fill in that card for I think top 10 or top 20 or something like that, and kind of goes from there. So yeah, that's. I don't know if I'm not sure if like fans get a vote on that too. But I think that might just be
No,
all
no, no,
players.
no, no. Yeah. I was told it's all players. So,
Yes.
whoever ultimately comes in number one, this is voted by his colleagues, you guys,
Yeah.
Can you believe that people will debate that's
Like,
not valid?
and so
Players on the
thank
person
you. Thank you. And
one
that
Yeah.
and and that's
talking
and
about.
that's exactly where I was getting ready to go with this was for everyone listening, it's not myself, it's not the Allens of the world. It's actually Trent. It's the players who are voting for these guys. So they're the ones who really know this. So I think this probably be your most accurate 100 players, give and take
Look,
some.
Blake and Trent, I'll be honest with you. If it was up to me, Patty would be 101. He'd never make
I
the
mean,
list.
come on, man. See, that's the other
Oh
thing, Trent.
man.
He's a Patrick Mahomes. He's a Patrick Mahomes hater.
Don't take that out of me. He personally hurt me.
Oh man. That's gonna be hard. That's gonna be hard to have a list with him not on it. Though. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. He gonna get his ESPN producer thing revoked, saying stuff like that. When you think about it though, and you see the ever changing list, like I see some young guys on there. I see McMillan from the Panthers is on this list now. After having a really good rookie campaign, it's always changing. And you remember after Jaden's special 2024 campaign, I think he came in at what 22 or something like that last
Yeah.
year. I mean, that's a huge jump from a guy that was a rookie the season before. So it goes to show you the respect factor of players around there. And I think the highest voted guy last year for Washington, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say it was Jaden. And then right after Jaden, I think it was Bobby Wagner. And then Laramie Tunsil
Okay.
came in there. So I got to ask you this, and not to be biased here because that's your teammate and you guys are friends. But how good is Laramie? I mean, seriously, like I know he's
Best in the
good, but
game.
you as a player, the best in the game, you think?
I think he's the
Okay.
best. I think he's the best in the game, man. And is unbiased because I watched him before he got here. He was one of the guys that I would pull up his tape and study his tape, especially if I was going against, a specific defender that week. I would pull up his tape, and to have him in the building and to see his process and see the way he goes about his work and to see the level of detail that he approaches the game with, man, is one of one that I've seen in the league. You can look at different tackles in the league. You got Trent and Lane or some other guys that I think are at that same level, and I think they're just all different. Saying so it's not like a technically a ranking type thing or anything like that. It's just for me in my eyes, man. He does it the highest level that I've seen for sure.
And that coming from a fellow offensive lineman. I mean, you know what you're looking for. You know what makes offensive linemen special. What would you say is the strongest part about Laramie's game? Would you say it's his hands, his footwork, his strength, or is it all of the above?
I think the thing that sets him apart is how consistent he is with all of those things. You know what I mean? It's like he does have very efficient feet, super strong dude. But it's the fact that he can take the same set over and over and over again. Like the defense, like some guys like me, even I'll switch it up sometimes, and jump set guys and things like that, where it's like he's out there taking the same set over and over. The D ends know what's
Wow.
coming, and you know what I mean. And so to be able to be successful at doing something like that, I think is just super impressive. For
So
sure.
if I were to ask you right now, if Laramie never played another down of football, God forbid, obviously we want him to keep playing, is he a Hall of Famer?
Based off of, the Hall of Fame is tricky. The Hall of Fame is
Oh
tricky.
man, the Hall of Fame is not justified sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you look at a guy in his resume, first round draft pick, has reset the market at left tackle 3 times.
I was gonna
Um,
say 3 times.
you know what I mean? And every year, if you looked at his win success rate, if you look at all the O-line things that make an O-line player great, offense, pass game, run game, I would have to say yes. I don't know what else they would base it off of. I don't know if they try to say anything about, winning a Super Bowl or something like that. I don't know. But even he's been on winning teams. He was successful in Houston. They had success, playoff teams and things of that nature. And so I would absolutely say yes. It's played for, I think he's in year 11 now. So, I mean,
Mhm.
to play at that high of a level for that long in the NFL, I mean, yeah, I would definitely say yes.
6-time Pro Bowler. I mean,
Yeah.
not one time, 6 times. So that's getting it
And they
done.
got to get
And
my
oh,
guy
by the
all
way,
pro, man. Got to get my guy all pro, man. That's crazy. I don't understand it.
was
I don't
well,
understand
see,
it.
that's the other thing. And then also last year, Trent, there was highway robbery that Laramie did not make the Pro Bowl. You could make an argument that was his best year ever. I mean,
Makes
he
no
was that
makes no
dominant.
sense. It didn't matter who lined up on that side of the ball. It didn't matter. And the amount of one-on-one reps that he gets and owns is, like I said, I don't know. That's why I don't, and that's a tough one because that's another vote that's by mostly peers and coaches and stuff like that. So it's just I don't know what guys aren't seeing, but turn the tape on.
Well, sometimes guys who don't, act up, and I hate to say it because I'm NFL media, but even the Hall of Fame thing, just like what are we doing here? Because, for a guy like Belichick, to not be a first ballot Hall of Famer, I mean, listen, man, I don't want to
It
hear
makes you
no
sit
cheating
back.
and all that stuff.
Yeah, what's the
Right?
criteria? You know what I mean? Like you talk about a dominant career at his what he was doing. So it's just that's a head scratcher right there for sure. I don't understand that one.
Yeah, well, we all know it's something called hate. That's what it is, man.
Yeah,
That's exactly what it is. As far as this list, this NFL 100, um, I know you're cool with all your teammates and you show every last one of them all love. But who are the guys that should be in the top, let's just say top half, the top 50? How many of your teammates do you think should be in there that you may even voted for?
let's see. I don't remember my actual vote. But if I'm just looking at my team and say like guys that should be in the top 50, course five, Terry, Laramie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to leave anybody out, man. I think even Big Sam, even coming back off of injury, man. Sam Cosmi came back and had a great year. A lot of guys, man, and I hate naming people, but those are the
No, no, no,
obvious
no.
that
I
pop
understand. I
just
understand.
springing in
It's
my
not like
that pop off the head. And, we got a lot of guys that are hungry and ready to get into that list, man. A lot of guys working and um, you know, but yeah, I mean, a
is
lot of
there
guys. I
is
think you'll
there
see. I think this next year, this after this next season, you'll see a lot of commanders in the top 50. I can tell you that.
Well, that's what we want, so that you know what that means? That means that you guys will be winning because unfortunately, a lot of the criteria is based off of winning. And I don't necessarily know if it's just that. I think it's what the eyeballs last saw, and if it's a perennial playoff team that every year is in the playoffs trying to get to a Super Bowl, a la a Kansas City, someone like that, or maybe even Lamar with the Ravens, you see them last. Josh Allen, those are the guys that you see. So therefore, they're going to stand out a little bit more. So more so, a great player that's playing for a team like maybe the Cardinals, who you don't see a lot here on the East Coast, and who haven't had a whole lot of success at least. So those are the little things that right there that maybe sometimes people don't go. I did want to ask you this, and we'll take a break after this. As far as are there maybe 2 to 3 young guys that really impressed you so far as what you've seen in OTAs, as far as mini camp as well?
I gotta say, um, for me, and I've said this a couple of times now, but obviously Sonny, man, Sonny, definitely popped off the tape. And even off the field, man, just a great dude who came into this environment ready to work, ready to be a part of the brotherhood. Seeking knowledge from older players and attaching himself to older players and just being a leader in his own right. And so, I was very impressed with him in OTAs and over minicamp. And then I gotta say, young Bill, man, like going into his second year, and I can just tell that he looks very explosive this offseason. Looks very explosive, very sharp in his
Looks
cuts.
strong.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, so it's just he popped off the screen a lot to me. It's just he looks like he's ready. I mean, just always a high energy dude, high personality guy, man. So it's just I'm excited for what he's gonna bring this year, man. I'm excited for him. He had a solid rookie season, man. I love the way he like battled through some adversity there. Where he had some issues there with fumbling the ball, and I think he embraced that journey of like, man, he had two options. He could have folded and just became that guy, but I think he just kept his head down, got back to work, and he finished really strong. And so I'm excited for him. I think he's gonna have a good one.
What about Antonio Williams? Is he a guy, because he seems like his route running is amazing, at that young age, and he just seems real smooth, real laid back. So you kind of don't hear much about him, but every time I looked up, he was doing something. So has he impressed?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Just like you said, kind of a more quieter dude, but it's not in a bad way. It's kind of like a just showing up again to work type of guy. So he kind of reminds me of Terry a lot. Just one of those like he's looking real reliable right now. Just he was in good spots all off season every time. He was getting to his depth on the route, and even Blau gave him a lot of praise in our offensive meetings on picking up the offense so fast and, his route running and making plays. I think he made a lot of plays in like our situational stuff and even 7-on-7. And so he's another young guy, man, that really turned a lot of heads in OTAs.
All right, folks. Look, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we'll have Trent Scott joining me here on the Lake Lewis Jr. Show on ESPN Radio. And we're going to switch gears here a little bit because the last time we kind of talked about this briefly, but Trent is a LeBron guy, and he said he would take LeBron over Mike, and that kind of kind of irked me just a tad. I understand his reasoning for that, but we're going to talk a little hoops when we come back because I know he's a basketball, savant as far as watching some stuff there. So we'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll have Trent, myself, Big Al will be joining us as well right here on the Lake Lewis Jr. Show. All right, welcome back, everyone. Final segment here on the Lake Lewis Jr. Show, joined by Washington Commander offensive lineman Trent Scott. And we're going to switch gears here. We're going to talk a little hoops here, just from the standpoint that, we had a little friendly debate going on inside the bubble, a couple weeks back, and it was about, the GOAT. And Trent's younger, so naturally, it's a generational thing. You go with who you've seen. And so you're still sticking with LeBron. You're never going to waver on that, huh?
Hey man, look, you hit it on the head. This has been a barbershop debate of mine for, as long as I can remember. And I gotta go with the person that I've seen the most of. Now I've seen clips of MJ and MJ set the standard. Don't get me wrong. From what I've seen, what I know about MJ, he set the standard, man. Dog mentality, competitor, both sides of the, offense, defense, But, like I said, I wasn't a LeBron guy until he came to my Lake show, won us a championship, man. And you just look at the longevity and playing at an elite level like that for over 2 decades, man, it's just impressive to me. You look at a guy who, talking about leaving the Lakers now, and it's gonna be teams jumping to get this guy on the team. And so, I mean, that just speaks volume to what he's accomplished in his career, man. And I mean, I know it's, the dog mentality and the finishing in the end of the game and all of those things, but I mean, it's just, that's tough. MJ said it himself, man. Ain't no, he said it himself.
So I'll say this with all due respect, because I have LeBron as number 3 on my all-time list. I have him on my Mount Rushmore, which is not chopped liver. I mean, listen, man, that dude Kobe was one of them ones too.
Now, now listen, we talked
So
about
I
it a
have
little bit.
Mike and then Kobe. Yeah, Mike and then Kobe, and then Bron.
I like that.
So again, that's not to be disrespectful. There's certain things that, okay, I'll say this: pound for pound, LeBron's the greatest basketball player of all time. I have no problem saying that. But that pound for pound sometimes leaves something to be desired as far as in that chest. And I'm just saying what I would see as far as that killer, and that's where Mike and Kobe came in. They were just they not only wanted to embarrass you, they wanted to leave your soul on the court, literally, or put it in their pocket. That's
Yeah.
something that I always said. If LeBron had that, oh my goodness gracious, what we would have seen. But he's still great, or one of the all-time greats. Now I do want to ask you this: Golden State that's what's being talked about right here now. Him going and linking up with Steph. If you're LeBron, because you're a Lakers fan now, because it looks like he's gone. From what I'm hearing, he's gone. There's no coming back from that. Um, do you go to Golden State or do you go home to Cleveland? Which team do you think would give him that opportunity? Because he would be linking up with Porzingis and Draymond Green, and I think they're trying to get Anthony Davis from the Wizards to be in Golden State. So what would you do?
I think at this point in his career is absolutely Golden State. You know what I mean? It's that if because I mean you only sticking around right now because you want to win. So I'm in the best
Right.
position. Even as Steph getting up in age, he's still performing at a high level. So I mean, then you got guys like Draymond and Antonio Davis is the one that
Can he be
man.
healthy? Can Anthony Davis
Can
be
he be?
healthy at
How long
all?
are we gonna have him is the question. You know what I mean? Yes, he's a great player. Yes, he's dominant. But man, if we only gonna have him for a quarter of the season, then I mean, he just gotta show me. He gotta show me that he can be durable enough to withstand the season, man. I just gotta see it. Gotta see it.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough because I think I think Alan, our producer, called him. He said he started an Unbreakable,
Yeah,
Mr. Glass. So I
yeah.
mean, that's just if he can
And
perform, then that would be. I would just like to see it just from the standpoint of two of the all-time greats. Just
yeah,
on the team together. And we saw what they did to Wemby in France over in at the Olympics. I know KD was on that squad too. Listen, while you at it, maybe they make a call to Houston and see if they can get KD over there somehow. Put the band back
Hey,
together. Old
now
heads.
that's just dangerous. That's just dangerous. Like you said,
Yeah.
it's tough. Like, so I'm rooting for AD. I want him to be. It's like the dude's so good, man. It's like I just want to see it for a full season. That's it. I just want to see what that could be. For because it's like, oh man, this dude's so good, and then you don't see him no more. It's kind of just like, oh man, that's a pump fake.
Well, and that
But yeah, man, I
probably
like
cost
that. I
your
like that
Lakers.
list. I like that list of you putting Kobe up there, man, because like that is he is what turned me into a Lakers fan, man. That dog, you talking about the mentality, and you mentioned Olympics, like that clip of him, like in the Olympics when they was like when he told the team like, "Hey, I'm finna set the tone right now, and I'm
When he
finna
ran
run
through
through
Paul
the
Gasol.
small chest." You know what I mean? It's like, yo, like this dude ain't got it all in the head. You know what I mean? So it's like that right there is like I'm putting him at number one on my all-time just dog list from the league. I mean, absolutely.
All right, see, that's what I'm talking about. An enforcer, and I'm saying this. Like Janine, she's like Trent's so nice. He's just a nice dude, and I'm like, yeah, he is. He absolutely is. But there's another side you need also on the field. You can't be nice on the field all the time. That's not going to work. So, speaking of nice, this was a nice show today. I greatly appreciated Trent joining me via Zoom as well on the radio as well. Alan, great job as always. And we'll be doing this again. I got you next Tuesday, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. So, folks, have a great evening. Be safe out there. And we will see you back here on Thursday here on the Lake Lewis Jr. Show. Have a good one.